If the stars were mine, I'd give them all to you. I'd pluck them down right from the sky.
I'm Andrew Sorbo. I'm a retired teacher. In 1979, in the summer, I stopped in New York to see some plays. I loved theater, and my whole life changed. Because when I was there for that weekend, I met Colin. And we both knew from that first day when we met that we had met our soulmates.
If the birds were mine, I'd tell them in to sing.
As Colin and I got older, we began to look toward our retirement. We went on our first big trip to Southeast Asia, and he started to get sick. And we thought, well, he ate something wrong. But he came back and he still was sick and went through all the different antibiotics and was eventually diagnosed a few months later with pancreatic cancer. The doctors said we should begin to say our goodbyes and get our things in order, and that Colin probably would have about 6 months. But he was a strong person, and he survived over 3 years. About 6-8 months before Colin passed away, Connecticut made marriage legal. And then we thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice to wait till our 30th anniversary, just like we waited for our 25th anniversary for the civil union. But in January, Colin knew he wasn't going to make it. He was a doctor, he knew. And so we had the marriage ceremony in our living room. After Colin passed away, I was sent a very tiny little check from the federal government saying, this is all that's left of Colin's money, of what Colin had put into his retirement, but you're not entitled to anything else. Because of DOMA, when Colin passed away, the household income dropped by 80%. Had I had the part of Colin's pension that I would have had if I were a woman, or if my marriage was recognized by the federal government, I could have stayed in that house, but I didn't. And so I sold the house this past summer.
HRC has been at the center for growing momentum to repeal the Defense of Marriage Act, using all of our resources to educate senators and members of Congress to really understand the harm that this discriminatory law is imposing on loving gay and lesbian families and couples. We have really seen the momentum change.
The impact of this discriminatory law is real, and it is unconscionable. It is long past time for the federal government to end its discrimination against lawfully married same-sex couples.
Well, I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you.
We have been holistically looking at ways that the organization can work together to get rid of this discriminatory law. The Workplace Project has been helping us build the momentum in the business community as to why the Defense of Marriage Act is bad. The Religion and Faith program has been bringing voices of faith to this debate. And of course, our field efforts, where every day we bring together the stories from all across the country of how this law impacts families.
When you have people who are married, in Massachusetts, you're married or you are not. But what happens with DOMA is it comes in and it chops up that group of married people, most of whom, of course, are eligible for those 1,138 federal marital rights and responsibilities, but a small group is not. And it was just a matter of time before we litigated. Defeating DOMA in the Supreme Court and having it struck down as unconstitutional obviously does not get any more people married. It only affects people who are already married by other states. Having said that, it's extremely important because it would be the United States Supreme Court condemning sexual orientation-based double standards in the context of family and marriage. And that is what you call a building block. There's no doubt that HRC exercised great leadership in helping that brief to come together because of its contacts with businesses who were experiencing the schizophrenia imposed by DOMA. We want to treat people equally, but we can't, and so on. And I think to the extent that we can keep the focus on the real people who are harmed by this complete double standard about what marriages are respected and what aren't, the better off we'll all be.
I know Colin really didn't want me to move from the house. He wanted me to stay there. But he's with me now. He's with me every day. These are our wedding rings. And now, those will be with me till I die.
Well, I won't give up. God knows I'm tough. He knows we got a lot to learn. God knows we're worth it. I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up.